$9,200. That's the number on the screen. You're lying in bed, phone 6 inches from your face, the room dark except for that glow. $9,200. You told yourself you'd sell at 10. That was the plan. That was always the plan. $10,000 and you're out. You take the money, you're done, you win. You're $800 away, so you don't sell. Of course you don't sell. Why would you sell $800 short of the only goal you ever set? It's been climbing for weeks. It'll be there by morning. Maybe by the time you fall asleep, you refresh. 9,180. You refresh again. 9,240. You put the phone down. You are the smartest person you know. You have no idea that 1,000 miles away, in a penthouse on a private island, there is a man who feels exactly the same way tonight. And he is feeling it with your money. It started with a co-worker, not a financial advisor, not a genius, a guy from work who wouldn't shut up about it on his break. He'd turned a few $100 into a few thousand, and he had that look, the one people get when they think they've found the door everyone else walked past. You just download the app, he said. It's called FTX. It's the safe one, the one with Tom Brady. And that mattered to you, weirdly. Not the technology. You didn't understand the technology, and neither did he. What mattered was that you'd seen it. You'd seen the arena in Miami with the name on the roof. You'd seen the Super Bowl ad with Larry David. Tom Brady was in it. Giselle was in it. Steph Curry, Shaq, David Ortiz, they were all in it. You don't put your money somewhere a con artist would be. You put your money where the champions are. So you did it. You downloaded the app and you put in $200. $200 you wouldn't miss. Play money, a bet you made with a shrug. Here's what you need to understand about the man whose app you just trusted. At that exact moment, Sam Bankman-Fried was the golden boy of an entire industry. 30 years old, curly hair, cargo shorts, slept on a beanbag chair in the office, or so the story went. Forbes put his net worth around $16 billion. He testified in front of Congress. Politicians took his calls. He was going to make crypto safe, respectable, real. And behind him was FTX, the third largest crypto exchange on Earth with over 1 million users. One of them was now you. You check the app the next morning. Your 200 is 240. You feel something switch on in your chest. He signs a deal for the naming rights to the Miami Heat's arena. $135 million, 19 years. His name, well, his company's name, bolted to the roof of an NBA stadium. You tell your co-worker he was right. You put in another 100. Then, when your friend mentions a coin that's really moving, a meme coin, a dog, something called Shiba Inu that people are turning into lottery tickets, you take your winnings and you rotate all of it into the dog. He spends over $1 billion, $1.13 billion, on endorsements and ads. Larry David for the Super Bowl, Brady and Giselle as the faces. He's chasing a deal with Taylor Swift worth $100 million more. His own executives are begging him to slow down, to preserve cash. He doesn't slow down. You watch the dog coin run. 240 becomes 800, becomes 2,000, becomes 5, then 8. $8,000 from 200. He buys a $30 million penthouse in the Bahamas and moves in with 10 other people from the company. 2 people riding the exact same wave. Both of you certain. Both of you feeling like the smartest person in the room. Neither of you knowing the wave is made of the same water. This is the part nobody warns you about. The danger was never that your money would go down. The danger was that it went up, because when $8,000 appears in an account that started with 200, your brain does something cruel. It stops seeing a gift. It starts seeing a flaw. 8,000 isn't a win anymore. It's the new normal, the baseline, the thing you'd be an idiot to walk away from. So you set a target, 10,000, a clean, round, beautiful number. I'll sell at 10 and I'll be done. You didn't sell at 8 because 8 wasn't 10. And that's how you ended up here, back where the story started. $9,200 at midnight, $800 from a goal you invented out of nothing, refusing to take a life-changing return because it wasn't quite the number you made up. There's a name for what's happening to you. It's the same thing that's happening to him. It's greed, but greed doesn't feel like greed from the inside. From the inside, it feels like discipline. It feels like patience. It feels like being smart enough not to sell early. You are both about to learn the difference. November 2nd, a crypto news site called CoinDesk publishes a story almost nobody outside the industry reads at first. It's about a balance sheet. Sam Bankman-Fried's trading firm, Alameda Research, a separate company he also secretly controlled, was holding billions of dollars of its supposed wealth not in cash, not in Bitcoin, but in FTX's own homemade token, a coin called FTT, a coin that FTX printed itself. In plain terms, the empire's savings account was full of its own "I owe us." You don't see this story. You're watching the dog coin, you're watching your number. November 6th, the CEO of the biggest exchange in the world, Binance, reads that same report and announces he's dumping every FTT token he owns, $500 million worth. Gone. FTT starts to fall. And here's the thing about a coin propping up a company that's propping up the coin. When it falls, it doesn't fall alone. November 7th and 8th, the bank run begins. FTX customers, 1 million of them, try to pull their money out all at once. $6 billion in 72 hours. And they discover one by one that the money isn't there. It was never there. Roughly $8 billion of customer deposits, your deposits, had been quietly funneled to Alameda and spent on the arena, on the ads, on the penthouse, on the bets. FTX halts withdrawals. You open the app. The button doesn't work. Now watch the two lives end at the same time. You refresh the app. Then again. The same way you refreshed when it was going up. Except now every refresh is a wound. Your $8,000. Your $9,200. The 10 you never quite hit. It's all behind a wall you can't get through. He watches his net worth, $16 billion, evaporate in a matter of days. Not shrink, evaporate. One of the largest destructions of personal wealth in the history of money, and it happens in less than a week. November 11th, FTX files for bankruptcy. Sam Bankman-Fried resigns. The man brought in to clean up the wreckage had previously handled the Enron collapse, one of the biggest corporate frauds in American history, and even he said he had never seen anything like it. A complete absence of trustworthy financial information. A company with no CFO, no records, no controls. That same day, hackers drain over $400 million more from what's left. Because of course they do, there was no one left guarding the door. The name comes off the arena in Miami. The ambassadors go quiet. The Super Bowl ad, the one with Larry David playing a man who keeps refusing good ideas, becomes an accidental joke because Larry David's character was the only one who said no. And you're just a number in a bankruptcy filing now. One line among 1 million. Here's where the story should end. Con artist exposed, money gone, lesson learned. But money is never that clean, because the story didn't end there. Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted on 7 counts of fraud and sentenced to 25 years in prison. And the bankruptcy estate, over years, clawed back enough to make an announcement that sounds almost impossible. 98% of customers would be repaid in full. You got your money back, except read the fine print of how in full works. The repayments were calculated at the value of your crypto on the day FTX went bankrupt, November 2022. The absolute bottom of the market. The single worst moment to freeze a price in amber. So if you'd had the equivalent of 1 Bitcoin trapped in there, you didn't get a Bitcoin back. You got what a Bitcoin was worth at the bottom, around $16,000. And by the time that check actually arrived, Bitcoin was worth several times that. Your $200 that became $8,000. You got back something close to what it was worth the day the music stopped. Not the peak you were staring at, and not what it would have grown into if you'd simply been allowed to hold. Your $200 came back as roughly $100, while the market that would have carried it climbed on without you. You were made whole in dollars and robbed in time. Think about what that means. Standing next to where we started. The whole story is about people who couldn't sell at the top because greed told them to wait for a number. And the ending is those same people not even being allowed to hold on long enough to recover, cashed out against their will at the exact bottom. Both jaws of the trap snapped shut on the same person. So what do you actually take from this? Not crypto is a scam. Plenty of people made real money, and plenty of the people who lost it would do it all again tomorrow. The lesson is quieter, and it's older than crypto. It's older than the stock market. You bought because a coworker was excited. You bought greed. You refused to sell because a made-up number wasn't hit yet. That was greed wearing the mask of discipline. And the man on the other side of your money did the exact same thing, at a scale with more zeros, and it destroyed him too. The market doesn't punish you for being poor or reward reward you for being smart. It punishes the same thing in everyone, from the guy with $200 to the billionaire with the arena. The inability to walk away from a number. Buy fear. Sell greed. Everyone can say it. Almost no one can do it. Because from the inside, greed never feels like greed. It feels like you're about to win.